Reasons why a man don't want no wife nowadays. Number one, she too bossy. She don't want nobody to tell her what to do but herself, not even God. Number two, she just talk too much. She don't know when to be quiet. She don't understand that there's a time and season for everything. And he just ain't got time for all that talking. That yappy, 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 yap. Number three, she's more interested in being a gold digger than she is being his wife. Not understanding that becoming his wife, listen, all of that gonna come anyway. But she's so stuck on what she can get out of him, so he don't even want to fool with her. Number four, he already know that the government is against him. So if they do get a divorce, he already know whose side the government is going to side with. So he feel like, what's the use? And number five, she ain't really ready to come up out them streets, because even when she do get married, she's still living for the streets. She's still acting like she's single, knowing that she married. Come on, somebody. And number six, she learned to emasculate a man at a young age because her mama taught her to be disrespectful. Her mama taught her how to shut a man down. Her mama taught her how to get a man to cooperate when he don't want to do right. By what? Put him on child support, take him to court, take him for everything that he got. So with that said, these are reasons that most men don't want to marry today. All right? Y'all leave in the comments and let me know your thoughts. Love y'all. Bye.
So women are always coming into my DM just sounding emotional and crazy. And I always got to do a real video to put them in their place because the math don't be mathing. So this woman came into my DM and she was like, yeah, you talk all this stuff about women, but men are nothing but cheaters. Why would a woman want to be faithful to these men, especially these black men? All they do is cheat. First of all, stop right there. And let's look at the logic, because again, you're talking from a place of emotion. Who has more access to sex, men or women? Women. Everybody knows that women have more access to sex than men. Women control sex, men control relationships. All right, let's stop there. Now that we have that logic, if women have more access to who's probably doing the most cheating? Women. What are we talking about? Y'all come on my platform and y'all DM me all this nonsense about men and talking about men. This is why we are where we are as modern women today, because we can never take accountability. We always want to point the finger. We never want to look in the mirror. It's women that's cheating more than men. All right, so I'm going to need y'all to change these narratives, okay?
When a man sees a pattern long enough and enough times, then he's going to stop treating this foolishness because that's what it is. It's foolishness. Oh, well, I'm just a girl. It's a pattern of delusion and foolishness, and men have stopped doing it.
So women are always coming into my DM just sounding emotional and crazy. And I always got to do a real video to put them in their place because the math don't be mathing. So this woman came into my DM and she was like, yeah, you talk all this stuff about women, but men are nothing but cheaters. Why would a woman want to be faithful to these men, especially these black men? All they do is cheat. First of all, stop right there. And let's look at the logic, because again, you're talking from a place of emotion. Who has more access to sex, men or women? Women. Everybody knows that women have more access to sex than men. Women control sex, men control relationships. All right, let's stop there. Now that we have that logic, if women have more access to who's probably doing the most cheating? Women. What are we talking about? Y'all come on my platform and y'all DM me all this nonsense about men and talking about men. This is why we are where we are as modern women today, because we can never take accountability. We always want to point the finger. We never want to look in the mirror. It's women that's cheating more than men. All right, so I'm going to need y'all to change these narratives, okay?
And a lot of men, the goal for them now is not, let me see if I can get access to more women. The goal is sort of, if I go with this woman, if I date this woman, if I, if I invest in this woman, is it going to lead to a better outcome? I'm not wasting my time and my energy and money on these women.
Who should take out the trash after dark? The man. Who should be checking the backyard when the dog goes crazy at 1 a.m? The man. Who carries the heavy boxes and fixes the flat tire and answers the unexpected knock at the door? The man. They're built to handle the riskier, heavier things. And most women love when a man shows up like that. It brings stability, and she can relax knowing that she's being taken care of. But somewhere along the way, some women start picking up these riskier, heavier things, not necessarily on purpose. It kind of just creeps in. The bills, the decisions, the problems, the constant managing, and all of a sudden, she's doing his job. And that's when the home feels out of whack, not because she's wrong, but because the roles flipped. And she's carrying the weight. That drains her, and he no longer has the space to step up into his. But when she shifts back into her lane, more feminine, less tense, not holding the entire house on her shoulders, things can change very quickly. He rises and she softens, and the home feels like a home again. So if you're doing what your man should be doing, you're in your masculine energy, and that can drain you. It can seriously damage your relationship right under your nose. I made a free quiz so you can help find out which energy you're living in and what needs to shift. Comment quiz and I'll send you the link.
I think a lot of men are looking at, because modern women say, I want a provider. And a man is saying, if being a provider comes with no respect, you're not loyal, you don't show any appreciation, what would I want it for? Why is that going to make me happy? Why is that going to be something that I want to be involved in? That's what a lot of men are going to say. That's what a lot of men are saying right now. If I'm a provider to you and I give you all of these things and I get nothing in return, why am I here?
After building a career on making men think that she cared about them just to reach 1 million followers, turn around and say, you men, I actually don't like you at all. This has now garnered 8 million man-hating women, because that's just all of her content. Well, she popped out with a man. She got engaged, and now she's shocked and dazed and confused as to why her giant following of man-hating women aren't with her fiance, why they're all on her now. I'm sorry, you built an entire following on women who are bitter, angry, and lonely, and then you're wondering why they're not clapping for you now that you're no longer bitter, angry, and lonely? Also, can we just call out the men who date man-haters like Drew Afalo for like what they actually are, which is just cucks. Like, you're the biggest cuck. You know that your woman despises your entire gender, and you think that you're good enough? You think you're different? This is like when girls date misogynists and they're like, yeah, he hates women, but I'm special. You're not special. You're an idiot. Congratulations. Hating on men for your entire career has done one of two things. Actually, both things. Number one, they've made the man-haters hate your husband, and they've made the women who don't even hate men hate your husband, because how desperate do you have to be with somebody like her? This relationship isn't gonna last. I don't think they're even gonna make it to marriage, and if they do, they will get divorced. This is my prediction right now.
The only reason a man is asking for your body count is because he wants to test you. He wants to see how many men you've slept with, because he wants to check if you're easy. And let's say you've slept with quite some guys, and you have this attitude like, I just want to be totally honest, I don't care what he thinks. And because men are good with words, maybe he has even convinced you that it doesn't really matter. But don't be fooled, because all the men you've been with, he ultimately sees them as predators he's in competition with. And that's why we have this expression, a woman's value lies in her past. Because when a man knows where you've been, he will judge you for it. And the other reason he wants to test you on is if, for example, you have many men on your list, he's wondering how loyal you are. Because a man knows if he himself has been with many women in the past, he's more likely to cheat in the future. Because he's not very careful in selecting his partners. But what men don't understand is that with women, it's exactly the opposite. If, for example, a woman has slept with quite some men before she settles down, she's more likely to stay faithful to the man she chooses because she has enough experience now to know what's out there. But a man will never understand this because he judges you from the way he thinks. And therefore the best thing to do is when you get questions about your body count, is tell him that it's not important because now you are with him. And also tell him it makes you feel uncomfortable to talk about these things with him. Because ladies, it's always better that what happened in the past should stay in the past.
A man that has self-respect doesn't need a dramatic exit to be finished. That's what these modern women don't understand. Oh, he just up and left. I think there was a dude one time, you know, just him and his lady couldn't get on the same page. And he finally just said, you know, I'm done. I'm done. He didn't say that to her, but he was like, hey man, you need anything from the store? And she was like, no. He went to the store and he never came back. Done. Finished.
Most of my guy friends are single right now, and this is why. Talking about my friends, they're hustlers. And so in their mind, they're thinking not only would a girl be kind of a distraction right now, but the girl that they could get right now is nowhere near as good as the one that they could get in 5 years, when they're richer, when they're more successful, when they're more established.
First of all, it's really easy to say that you don't want a relationship when a woman doesn't want a relationship with you. Women have collectively decided to raise their standards, and the truth is a lot of men these days don't meet those standards. A man being able to only pay the light bill is not going to cut it. Women want financial stability. This isn't new. Y'all try to act like it's new, but it's not. Back in the days, women didn't have bank accounts, didn't have jobs. They did select partners who could financially provide for them and their future children. Stop acting like women these days are so new and what's wrong with them and this is so revolutionary and these are modern women. Women have always expected a man to provide. You're modern because you expect a woman to split bills with you, and no woman in history has ever been asked that. And then with this bootleg vague threat like, you guys are going to want us in 5 to 10 years. We're going to be the ones with the money, and you're going to wish you hadn't hated on us when we were in our 20s. You're getting princess treatment. You're getting flown out. You're getting spoiled by these men who have money right now. And when we get the money, we're not going to want you. Those women don't care. The reason why there's so many single men out there is because we are asking you to be better, and some of these men are refusing to. You're digging in your heels. You're being stubborn, and you're going to stay single until you change. Women are evolving. Evolve with us or get left.
What society tends to do is they try to force a man into doing exactly what they want him to do. And when a man stops doing that, then all of a sudden, oh, he's cold, he's bitter, he's this, he's that. But most of the time, it's just a man that's tired of auditioning for your nonsense. Most of the time, it's just a man understanding, recognizing, and realizing, oh, this woman's playing games. She's not serious about anything, and deciding to go in a different direction. But of course, once again, because there's no accountability on the woman's part, the man is bitter, he's cold-blooded, and he's all of the terrible things, right?
Andrew Tate was right when he said dudes won't fight when they realize you will fight. I had an altercation earlier on my way to the boxing gym on the street train, and a guy elbowed me in my back, and I turned around and said, hey, yo, you just elbowed me in my back. Could you move your arm for me? Then he was like, what? What'd you say? With a snazzy attitude. So I'm like, excuse me, you just elbowed me on my back. Could you please move your arm for me? So he was like, oh man, you ain't have to come off like that. I'm like, well, you didn't hear me say it the first time, so I'm saying it again. Like, oh, I didn't hear you at all. And I'm like, I know, that's why I'm telling you again. Oh, I didn't hear you at all. And I'm like, I know, that's why I'm telling you again. And we just went back and forth, and I'm just like, whatever, bro. Can you please just watch your arm next time? So I turned around and put my face back in my phone, and he got up and said something disrespectful at the back of my head. I kindly took my bag off, took my glasses off, stood up and turned around and said, so what you want to do? Once I checked his temperature, that's when he started retracting and started walking away. Oh, you ain't about all that. You ain't about all that. But I'm like, you the one walking away from me. Just got so close to the back of my head, but when I stand up and turn around and now I'm facing you in your face, now all of a sudden you want to start backing away and telling me I'm not the one on that. Okay. Or he just kept going, slowly making his way off the street train, not trying to do nothing. And my thing is, I'm not finna chase you. My thing is, people will never know who they dealing with. Just because I wear glasses doesn't mean that I'm not willing to take them off. I'm actively on my way to the boxing gym. I have no problem having an early sparring session.
You know, a lot of men, and this is what modern women don't seem to be able to figure out. A man, he don't really mind taking responsibility and leading and all that stuff. But the relationship has to give him something back. And what a lot of men are looking for is peace. They're not looking for constant tension. They're not looking for constant problems that modern women are so happy to give the people that they're in a relationship with. I don't want any of that. I don't want any of that. I don't want to be a part of all the drama. You keep this up, we gonna break up. I don't want to be a part of that. But modern women act like they can't hear it.
3 minutes of this. All right, I'll play it. Let me see if I can play it in full without commentary.
Say a 6 foot, God-fearing, tatted up gym rat, pretty teeth. I wouldn't mind an accent. I wouldn't, but you don't gotta have all that. That's fine though. Knows how to dance to where it wouldn't cringe me out. Pays for everything, but like I still will have my own money, but like I don't have to worry like, oh, does he got it? Like I want someone that, like a man that takes control. I don't ever have to question if he has me or does he got me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Can really eat, can put down a meal. Cause as a man, if you can't, like if you're not eating, if I'm getting full before you, you're a man. Like I would say can definitely cook, cause you know who can't cook me. And what about it? I'm sorry, I'm not gonna be the cooking wife. I'll learn. I'll learn how to cook. I know some stuff here, maybe some cereal or ramen noodles, but like to really throw it down, like.
Yeah, look, bro, this is the modern woman, bro. I appreciate the fact that she's being honest. A lot of girls will not outwardly say this ridiculousness because they'll get laughed at. But this is how a lot of them feel, bro. Unfortunately, this is where we are in society. And you know for a fact, this girl right here ain't no virgin, okay, to be demanding this. Okay, she's definitely got a higher body count. We know that for a fact. So, are we surprised at this point?
Trigger warning, secondhand embarrassment. Every time somebody sees my husband, they're like, oh my God, that man is so fine. Where do I get me one of them? And here's the thing, Dan is a Serbian man. He's a Balkan man. And one thing about Balkan men is that they are not for the weak, okay? True story. In one of our like earlier dates, I would make the effort to like get dressed up, hair done, makeup, everything, outfit. Thought I was eating, thought I was serving. And during one of our dinner dates, he's looking at me into my eyes, right? His piercing green eyes are staring into my soul. He's interested in what I'm saying. And I'm looking at him and I'm like, oh my God, this man is eating it up. He's so obsessed. He's in love with me. Like, oh girl, we are locked in. This man, after I am done giving him a spiel on God knows what, looks at me deep in my eyes and says, you have mustache. And I said, rewind, come again. You have mustache. Oh, he repeated himself. He repeated himself for clarity because obviously I didn't hear him well the first time. And then he goes, you have hair on upper lip. I didn't need you to point out the geography in which hair is growing on my face, sir. On my face. And then he proceeded to go back to eating his steak dinner. And I cried myself to sleep that night from embarrassment.
Modern women realize after a while, when they come back to reality, the hard part and the painful part is you realizing that, oh no, he was giving me this attention, he was giving me this validation. And I realized through all of that stuff that he was giving me, maybe taking me on trips and things of that nature, there was no commitment that came out of it. Yep. And a man would have told you that. A man would have already told you that. But for modern women, they don't really listen to anybody. So they always seem to find out too late.
It says, my 16-year-old daughter feels entitled to my child support I get from her father. How would you handle this? I also think her father is putting things in her head. Either way, the money he sends is for me to care for her, and she doesn't grasp paying my bills, which also benefits her siblings, is part of this. And this is the text that the daughter wrote to her mom. My dad told me how much he pays you in child support, and he showed me. I just don't understand how my dad pays $1,900 in child support. When I ask for something, you say no.
What?
Also, you use the money my dad sends to take care of me to spend on Aaron and Jess, who I assume are her other siblings.
That's crazy.
And likely they don't share the same dad. That's just my assumption. When I ask for something, it's always a problem, and you threaten to take my phone away when I do anything you don't like. If it wasn't for me being here and my dad paying you, if it wasn't for me being here, she misses some words, and my dad paying, you couldn't afford to keep the house. Right. I do love you, but I feel like you take advantage of having me here. I'd rather live with my dad, and I just want you to know for it to happen without making a big issue. I don't think it's right. I don't benefit from my dad's child support, yet you spend it.
There's never a dull moment when women consistently prove my point when I say that they are way more than men in regards to how they employ multiple tactics to try to destroy another woman, or in some cases, another man.
Women hate women, and I'll forever say that, okay? They're only girls when it benefits them or when they're supporting stupidity, but truly or deep down, they hate women. The moment you start disagreeing with them, they will find ways and means to tear you down, to hurt you in however way that they can.
For example, old girl with the septum ring, her sycophants leaving a negative review on my business page. So riddle me this, Batman. What is your point and your purpose of doing that? For me to go out of business? For me to fire my employees so they can't work and they can't provide for their family? For me to no longer be able to provide for my family and to be homeless? Because when y'all try to cancel people, y'all do it in such an extreme that it's like it makes you feel good. And this is why I say people who make being a victim an entire personality and identity are hurt people always hurt people. And y'all prove my point every day with this entire situation.
And, they were talking about monkey branching. And I think my boy Decode Dating, basically saying you have to be the best option. No, I don't. If she ain't looking at me like that, then I don't care nothing about what she's talking about. I don't, man. I'm too old. I don't have time for it. If you don't like me, if you're not looking at me like actually considering me, I don't care nothing about what you got going on. You're not for me. There's plenty of pretty women out there that's going to give me the time of day. Might not look the greatest, might not look like one of these, whatever you call them, models on TV. But if I like them and they meet my needs, then that's probably who I'm going to go with, to be honest with you. A lot of these modern women like to come out here and waste your time. And that's one of the things I definitely don't like. Modern women wasting my time? Absolutely not. I'm not the best for you. Get the heck up out of my face.